I recognize we've had a lot of presentations tonight, a lot of good coverage and a lot of different things. I still want to make sure that there is a chance, though, for people to ask questions before we wrap it up. So I'm just going to throw it out to the crowd.
There was just a short mention about VR goggles. One of the things I've recently heard about is content producers actually targeting new content specifically packed VR goggles. What of that would actually present at NMP?
Can I actually ask Manny, can you join
Sure.
the rest of the panel? And anybody, Manny or others, can comment on that?
Was that production?
Production for VR goggles.
Very little. It seemed that most of the production was just these automatic stitching mechanisms. The only one that I saw that was kind of professionally done was Book of Life, which was actually a production company. They were just showcasing one of their productions, basically. Nothing in terms of tools that I saw, at least for the authoring side. There's just presentation centers.
I remember last year there was a good Canadian product, I think out of Vancouver, that was kind of shot 360, and they had on the booth a demo with the Oculus Rift glasses. It's pretty neat, though. I don't know if they were there this year or not.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether this might become the next 3D.
Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to say.
One of the problems with 3D and why it was doomed from the start was that a living room is, some people have windows in their house, and living rooms, 3D works best in complete darkness. And the other problem, one of the other problems was that LCD screens, the last 10% of the picture actually takes quite a while to ooze away, so there was just a lot of field crosstalk. Actually, I saw some of the things that you mounted phones on. They were actually remarkable because it goes back to the old ViewMaster where you get perfect field separation and you can feed, if you know the difference in, I think we've got a SMPTE night there on the IMAX theaters that use two projectors. So you're not also oscillating from one eye to the other, you're feeding both eyes. But when you can actually, and I saw glasses like that 25 years ago with little 2/3 inch LCDs in them, and people are treating them like they're something new. But you get perfect field separation because one eye is being fed with each screen. So it's overcomes one of the main issues that impeded 3D on flat screens.
Probably, I imagine it'll grow with gaming too, and then perhaps extend other.
I think that's going to be the big thing. Gaming is going to sort of push the thing into the living room, and then people are going to be looking for, okay, what else can we do with this thing, right? And one of the things I think between last year and this year that I noticed is a lot of the manufacturers are cutting the cable off these things. So last year was, I forget the name of the company, they got bought up by Facebook basically.
Oculus.
And Oculus, yeah. And they were like, I mean, you know, I bought one of these things, the early version, and it's like, there's so many wires, it's like worse than a whack-up tablet. You know, there's like 6 wires sticking out of this, and you have to stick in the computer, and multiple USBs to power the thing. With the new generation where you just have the plastic shell, you wear it and you slide a, you know, what do you call it, like a cell phone, 6-inch cell phone or something. It makes it a lot simpler.
Excellent. Other questions? Nobody?
Yeah, what's driving all the interest in drones? Like, they've been around for, what, 4 or 5 years now? I mean, what's new? Why do people want drones?
Simple answer, nobody used it. Nobody used it that talks about it. They should use it and talk.
Let's talk about getting images in a war zone. Do you wanna send people in, or do you wanna send a fully equipped drone?
Yeah, but in Turkey, they shot one, you know, the soldier just lined up with his 303 or whatever he used, and blam, the drone was all over the...
They're disposable.
I think the challenge, because I've been tasked with trying to integrate drones at Rogers, and you can't use them, at least right now, over people, and you know, in newsworthy areas. Now, so that's from a news perspective, and same thing from a sports perspective. However, for you know a fire or something like that, I think that's where you're seeing more of it. But it's very limited areas. You know, and one of our presenters back in the fall, they want to provide themselves as a service. You know, hey, that dump truck's hit that bridge in the Burlington Bridge. We'll get out there. We've already got the license taken care of. So maybe that's a different model for
Is
it.
that Arion?
I believe so, yeah.
I actually kind of found it a bit sad because it just showed you that the floor space of actual broadcast people was shrinking. And it's like CES. If you go to CES, it used to be predominantly TVs. Now a small portion of CES has got anything to do with TV. And we're really seeing now the infiltration of a lot of floor space devoted to non-traditional broadcast manufacturing base.
Manny?
Just in response to that, I think partially also the production of these things has kind of flipped on its head because, 5 years ago, to build a quadricopter, you needed like tons and tons of, specialized electronics. Nowadays, a Raspberry Pi type board for $40 comes with, gyro, stabilizers, blah, 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 all the hardware pieces that you need are on the board, and all you gotta do is write the software, which is most of the time open source. And now all of a sudden you got, every mom and pop shop, pumping out a drone, because all it is basically a carbon fiber frame, a control board, battery, and 4 rotors, right? So that's kind of our.
But who's buying them? I mean, what's?
Good question.
When you hear about the cost of exhibiting an NAB, the fact, I'll be surprised if these guys come year in and year out.
It's gotta be less next year.
I think these guys are like the
Still
CD-ROM,
$1,000 drones.
remember the CD-ROM robots of the Comdex era?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, like 2 years, maximum 3.
That being said, it can be a powerful tool, I know for features and documentaries, I see them a lot. When you have the time to set up that beautiful shot and you're not in a populated area, they're using them in feature films. I know we heard about big feature shot on Adelaide, but they had to close the entire street,
So how many cameramen were at NAB buying drones?
Yeah, that's a very good question,